Let's start this Mars series by talking about one of the most angelic, yet passively dangerous Mars signs. Hola, my beautiful lotus flowers. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're into nerding out on everything astrology, spirituality, and self-transformation, this is the community for you. Today we're talking all about having Mars in Pisces, and what this means is at the time you were born, the planet Mars was moving through the zodiac constellation Pisces. This is not a video about having Pisces sun sign. That is completely different. We will start the video off with an introduction to Mars in case you're not familiar with the overall energy of it and what it means in your birth chart. Then we'll move on to talk about some of the general traits of somebody who has this placement, and we'll finish the video off with a few empowering tips. So be sure you stay to the end of the video for that, because I don't just like to tell you guys that you're A, B, C, and D. I like to also give you some empowering solutions or ways that this placement can enhance your life positively. So without further ado, let's talk about Mars and Pisces. First, let's briefly discuss what Mars means in astrology. First off, Mars is the planet of our quote-unquote animalistic instincts, action, ambition, desire, and passion. It rules over the zodiac sign Aries, but it's also the co-ruler and traditional ruler of Scorpio before Pluto came into the picture. The Mars placement in our birth chart can give us insight on how we physically take action in the world, what ignites our inner fire, and how we tame or transmute that fire into reality. Whereas Venus is about what we are attracted to in the physical realm, Mars is more so how we actually act on, pursue, and express those desires. It is the primary conductor of our innermost passions, and it gives us a direct pathway on how we assert ourselves in the world. Remember to check if Mars was retrograde at the time that you were born, because this also affects how its placement manifests in your life. When you pull up your natal chart, check to see if your Mars has a little R or RX next to it. This indicates that that planet was retrograde at the time of your birth. Now for the general traits of somebody who has Mars in Pisces. Before we talk about those, it's important to remember that Pisces is the mutable water sign, ruled by Neptune, co-ruled by Jupiter, and symbolized by the two fish. Number one, these individuals are likely to take a more subdued, peaceful, reclusive approach to their desires or situations that they face in the world. Although Piscean's modern ruler is Neptune, planet of dreams and illusion, Jupiter is also its co-ruler, planet of expansion and spirituality. With Mars placed in Pisces, the planet of expressive action takes a much more hidden approach. Oftentimes, someone with Mars in Pisces will probably value solitude in order to rest, reflect, realign, and intuitively feel their way through a situation, which can be strongly attributed to Neptune's influence here. It's also very likely that this person finds comfort in using their spiritual practices or turns to spiritual insight during times of conflict or confusion, which is very much part of Jupiter's energy of inner expansion in this placement. However, even if you're somebody who has this placement and you aren't too keen on spiritual practices, it's still highly likely that when you are facing something in the world or you're trying to figure something out, you probably do still like your peace and solitude, because that peace and quiet is how this placement tends to reach their answers or choose how they want to take action. It's very interesting that this happens because Mars is known to be a very assertive and direct planet, but it's kind of overpowered here by the influence of Neptune and Jupiter. And not to mention the fact that Pisces is water as well, so it can fizzle out a fire easily. But all of that kind of overpowers it, and it overpowers that direct and assertive nature that Mars tends to have and turns it inwards, if you will. Second, it may prove difficult for this placement to focus their energy and commit to anything long term. When a sign is considered mutable, this means that the sign tends to be adaptable by nature. And although adaptability is definitely a strong suit in many ways, it can also cause trouble with focus and commitment. Having the planet of action and desire in the mutable water sign means that it may be challenging for this placement to pin down what exactly it is that they desire. There may be a lot of times in their lives where they strongly believe that they really wanted something, and then the moment that they got it, they had instant disappointment or it just didn't live up to their expectations. And this can also be strongly influenced by Neptune being the ruler of Pisces, because Neptune again is planet of dreams and illusions. So a lot of times someone who has Neptune influence can tend to build fantasies in their minds that aren't met by reality. Somebody with Mars and Pisces probably creates a lot of these fantastical visions of things that they want or how they think something or someone is going to be, and reality almost never lives up to the bar that they set. However, the beauty in this trait is definitely the ability for this person to move through various walks of life, various situations, and various relationships due to having such an open mind and an open heart, in which they often aren't afraid to follow until they find where they truly want to be. Third, this placement is, without a doubt, one of the most empathic, healing energies in astrology if channeled positively. Someone who is evolved in their Mars expression, meaning that they don't give into the potential toxic traits of the placement, and has Mars in Pisces, is likely to be a very gentle, healing energy to be around. Although Mars is the planet of assertion and is often seen as an aggressive planet, someone with this placement can harness that fiery Mars passion into living a life where offering deep healing, love, and compassion to the less fortunate plays a large role in their lives. This is especially true because someone with this placement probably had a lot of moments in their lives where they felt overlooked, undermined, like the underdog or the outcast. Because Mars is such a physical planet and it really deals with our physical expression in reality, it can be hard for someone with this placement to ever feel like they have any place in the world. They spend a lot of time probably looking for their place and never feeling like they belong anywhere, and they might even try to play the shapeshifter and try to mold themselves to different places, but still are left unfulfilled. But Mars also being the planet of passion, this can transmute itself into a beautiful thing in this person's life, and it can become a passion of theirs to help the less fortunate, or to help the outcasts, or to understand the outcast, or help the underdog. Because of this personal life experience that they have, combined with their open-mindedness, that they can lead such a compassionate life. And this is one of the reasons that I consider this placement to potentially be a very angelic one, is if they are using that internal struggle and manifesting it into reality as something loving and passionate and compassionate. The healing energy can really manifest a lot in any of the Mars placements when they're in a water sign, because water is the healer of astrology. So, but with Pisces, they tend to be known as the most sensitive and most attuned water sign. They are quite often laughed at for being considered one of the most likely water signs to fall into bad relationships that take advantage of them, and it's because they have such a sensitive, understanding soul. So with a Mars in Pisces, that is also true for this person, very much so. But a bonus side of this, a bonus side of this trait is that because they have the planet of passion and sexual assertion in the water sign of Pisces, they are probably also quite romantic and sensual individuals as well. So with people in general, they can probably be quite understanding and compassionate, but if you get to a romantic place with them, they are probably incredibly devoted and sensual lovers. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below if you have Mars in Pisces, know somebody who is, or you just find the placement interesting for whatever reason. I love to hear your guys' thoughts so we can all talk about it. Fourth, there can be an unspoken, unseen inner turbulence within these individuals, causing a constant and sometimes dramatic shift in their energy. Pisces are symbolized by the two fish, which is a representation of a Piscean's inner nature, They're known to embody everything light and dark and are often experiencing some sort of inner conflict between their opposing energies. Now, when it comes to Mars and Pisces, we can most likely encounter this in their extreme fluctuations of energy. Although most will take a more passive approach to life, and on the outside, to a lot of other people, this person may appear to be quite peaceful and quite gentle, there can be a crazy tornado of frustration happening within them if they are not finding a way to channel their frustrations and their anger in a healthy manner. One of the most positive ways that this placement can channel that energy is into creative outlets, especially in terms of like music or other forms of art that provide a release for them. A lot of these individuals probably are artists and are probably passionate about their creative work as well. So if they aren't doing something, even if it's not art, if they aren't doing something to channel their emotions into an outlet, because Mars again is the physical planet of action. So if they don't have a physical outlet that is releasing these turbulent emotions, then there's a lot of times where their actions can be very passive aggressive, or they can be quite vindictive as well, because again, they are a water sign. This is a water Mars placement, and the water signs, if they want to be, can be quite hypnotic and manipulative, and Pisces is considered the siren of the zodiac. So if they want to, they can be quite manipulative as well. And what may happen if you encounter somebody somebody with this placement who has these inner turbulent emotions that they don't know how to channel in a healthy way, it can appear that they're fine with things, that they're totally fine. You can even ask them, hey, are you okay if blah, blah, blah? And they'll say, yeah, of course, that's fine. And so you'll be like, oh, cool, they're fine with it. But then they'll turn around and make a very subtle remark, or they'll do a subtle action that'll leave you questioning, like, I swear that was a little passive aggressive, or what did they mean by that? Were they taking a jab at me? No, there's no way. No, they're too nice. No, there's no way. Oftentimes, if someone with Mars and Pisces is taking the route of passive aggression, they oftentimes feel very guilty immediately. So this is that conflicting energy I was talking about between light and dark. They want to do right, they want to be happy, they want to find their peace in life, but there's a side of them that is so emotionally turbulent and may not know what to do with those emotions that they end up recklessly lashing out in subtle ways towards other people. And then they revert instantly back to the light side and feel really bad about it because that's not who they are at their core. So this is the cloud of mystery that can sometimes surround these individuals. If you meet people with Mars and Pisces, they may have a mysterious energy, or they may be very difficult to figure out. Now let's talk about the ways that you can empower yourself if you have this placement, or if you know somebody who does have this placement. Number 1, living unapologetically through your intuition and your heart can lead you to some of the most beautiful, fulfilling pathways in your life. If you have this placement, or if you know somebody personally who does, encouraging yourself or encouraging that person to live through their intuition, to not doubt their gut feeling, is going to be very powerful. This is an extremely intuitive placement. Like I said, they rely mostly on their intuition. More than likely, this person naturally has a strong intuition and follows it, or the only reason they struggle to follow it is because they are questioning their gut feelings. But it's very likely that this person should be following what they feel they should be doing. They are an artist at heart, potentially a visionary at heart, and they need to either turn those visions into art, follow those visions in the physical realm, whatever it is that they need to do to live authentically. The moment that they doubt their intuition too much, the moment that they doubt their inner passions too much and they try to disconnect from them, is probably going to be what really leads them down a confusing pathway in life where they don't know where they belong, they don't know what to do. So If this individual learns how to cultivate a practice regularly that allows them to get more in touch with that inner voice that they have and their own energy, this is going to help them expand themselves in ways that maybe they have been struggling to before. With that being said, it's likely that you are an energetic sponge. It's likely that you can be easily influenced by people around you. So having that solitude to realign with yourself and your energy, again, will be extremely important. Number 2, you have an inner creative glow that can bring you immense inspiration and happiness if you give it time to shine. If you have this placement, do not shy away from letting your creative spark fly free in whatever way you feel that is necessary. Obviously, this placement is not black and white. Nothing in astrology is. There's a lot of gray area, and the gray area is your entire birth chart. This one placement cannot tell you absolutely everything about what you need in life, but it's very likely that if you have Mars in Pisces, you are very creative and very artistic. And this is one of the ways that you may find the most fulfillment, whether you want it to be your career or whether it's just a hobby. Let go and let your creativity flow on the daily basis, or on a regular basis at least, because this is going to provide you so much inner clarity. And again, this is a Mars sign that can easily become muddled and have turbulence on the inside. And a great way to release that turbulence is by having that creative flow channeled into the physical realm in some way. Third, taking the time to know yourself through and through is your ultimate superpower. This ties into the first empowerment point that I mentioned, but really getting to know yourself, really setting aside time to get to know who you are is how you're going to unlock your potential. The thing that I want you to know if you have this placement is that you can manifest so much abundance in your life. Not only do you have the direct influence of Neptune over Mars, but you also have the influence of Jupiter as well. Neptune creates someone who is not afraid to dream. And that means that if you have a dream, if you can see something in your mind, that means it can happen. It can physically happen. You just have to take the proper action to do so. And then if you have the influence of Jupiter, that is another visionary planet. That is a planet that wants you to expand and explore. So you have these two visionary, friendly planets that are known for being the manifestation masters. The manifestation masters of astrology. You have them both influencing your physical planet of action. Even though this placement may be more inclined to sleep and resting and napping, and it may be hard for them to have the physical energy to do things, you just have to find a routine that works for you. You just have to find a practice that works for you. It's okay if you don't work all day, every day, hustling towards your vision or doing what you want to do. It just needs to be a daily bite-sized practice that fits your lifestyle and your energy reserves. And the way to truly uncover your vision is to sit alone and really make sure you stay in touch with yourself. Staying in touch with yourself is the foundation of creating everything else that you want to create. I hope that if you have Mars in Pisces, or you know somebody who does, this video was able to give you so much more clarity and make you feel much more empowered about your Mars placement. That is always my goal with these videos, is to leave you feeling better about yourself and more guided on who you are in this lifetime. Again, if you liked the video, don't forget to actually like it, subscribe, and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Again, if you're a Mars in Pisces or know somebody who does, or if you're just here for fun. I want to know that too. While you're waiting for me to release the next video, don't be afraid to click on these ones, because they'll help you so much more on your astrological and spiritual journey. But until I see you next time, thank you so much again for being here. I truly appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Adios.